Welcome to my channel Learnovate. In this video, we will going to discuss about the anatomy of the layers of the scalp. Here you can see in this diagram there are shown the layers. So the scalp is the upper part of the head that covers the cranial cavity, and the scalp starts anteriorly from the superciliary arch and posteriorly to the external occipital protuberance. So if we see the anatomical structure of a scalp, it is consisting of the 5 layers that includes the layer of the first layer is the skin. The second layer includes the dense connective tissue. The third layer is of aponeurosis. The fourth layer is of loose connective tissue, and the fifth and the last layer is of pericranium, that we can say the bony part of the bone. So the bony layer of the cranium bone. The 5 layers of the scalp constitute the layer most important, that is you can say the covering of the cranium is formed from these 5 layers of scalp. So we are going to start from the first layer of scalp. The first layer of scalp, here you can see having large amount of the hairs. Here you can see the large amount of the hairs are present in the first layer of scalp. Also what we can see in the first layer of scalp, here you can see in the notes, the first layer of scalp is formed from the skin. So the skin that is formed from the most outer layer of scalp, and this layer of scalp having large amount of the hairs present on the skin of the scalp. Here you can see these are the large amount of hairs present on the skin of scalp. So this is the first layer, that is the skin. The second layer, here you can see, is called as the dense connective tissue layer, and what we can see, we're going to see by our notes. The dense connective tissue layer, that is the second layer of the scalp, includes the vascular layer. This layer is also called as vascular layer. Why? Because of the large amount of the vessels and the nerve, plus there is a presence of dense connective tissue. This layer encodes the skin, that is the first layer, with the other 3 layers of the scalp. Large amount of blood vessels and the nerve supply, you can say the vasculature, is very much extendable in the dense connective tissue layer. Here you can see in the diagram, this second layer is the dense connective tissue layer having the blood vessels, vein and the artery, and some of the nerves also present, with the lymphatics present in this layer. The dense collagen fibers form this layer that we call as the second layer of scalp, that is formed from the connective tissue. Also, one more important thing, that in the second layer, because of the presence of vasculature, there will be profuse bleeding if there is damage to the second layer of scalp. So there will be more bleeding in the second layer. That is a point to remember for the clinical point of view. Now coming to the third layer of the scalp, here you can see this is our toughest layer, and this layer is formed from the aponeurosis. So what we can find in this layer, we can see the aponeurotic layer, that is the third layer, is also called as the epicranial aponeurosis, also called as the glia aponeurotica. The frontal and the occipital belly of the occipitofrontalis muscle can be seen in the third layer of the scalp. Also, this is the toughest and the firmest layer of the scalp. So now we know that the 2 bellies of the muscle, that is occipitofrontalis muscle having the occipital belly and the frontal belly, can be seen into the third layer, that is a glia aponeurotica, or the toughest layer of the scalp. The fourth layer, the third layer, was the aponeurotic layer. So here comes the A. The fourth layer is of the loose connective tissue layer. What we can see in this layer is the loose connective tissue layer is going to encode loosely and contain large amount of fat tissue. This layer is very much vulnerable for the infections. So the infections in the fourth layer of the scalp spread very easily. So here you can see there is a large amount of presence of fat globules, or you can say the fat is larger in the fourth layer. Also because of the loose connection with the other layers of the scalp, this layer is very much vulnerable to infections, and infections can easily pass from this layer to other layers of the scalp. So this was the fourth and the loose connective tissue layer of the scalp. The last one, that is the deepest layer, is of the pericranium. This layer, what we can see in this layer here, the pericranial layer is the deepest layer present outer to the calvaria, that is the bone of the skull that we see in the normal verticalis view. The upper part of the calvaria forming from the parietal bones and from the frontal suture and from the frontal occipital and the two parietal bones from the calvaria. So the upper part of calvaria is covered. Superior to this is the pericranial layer of the scalp. So this layer consisting of the compact and spongy part of the bone. So the two parts of the bone, that is a compact and spongy, that we have discussed in the gross anatomy of the skeletal system. In this two part of the bone forming this layer, there is a pericranium. So now we can analyze this layer. This is a pericranium and the outer part is the compact part, that is the toughest part, while that of the inner part is the spongy or the loose part. So this is the fifth layer that we call as the pericranium. So here, by seeing this for all the layers, I hope you will be explained well about these layers. Now we can conclude that all the layers of the scalp are learned easily by the mnemonic, that is the SCALP. Here you can see for the skin, for the dense connective tissue, for the A for the aponeurosis layer, the L for the loose connective tissue layer, and the P for the pericranium. So the scalp itself is comprises of the layers of the scalp, and this mnemonic is very easy to remember all the layers of the scalp. So this was all about the scalp layers. I hope you will be explained well. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more.